Join me today as we work on this triple trunk Japanese maple. Join us. Well, welcome back, everybody. So this is that triple trunk Chinese elm, Japanese maple that I picked up at Clark several years ago. That last year we repotted it, and then we kind of did some basic trimming, and then just let it kind of go wild for the season. This is winter, almost New Year. So goal today is to take off all the leaves. Trying into winter dormancy at this point, best we can, and then we're going to select the branches that we want to ramify, continue ramifying, and eliminate the branches that we don't want. So that's a pretty simple task. Well, pretty simple if you to get wrong technically, but it's a great opportunity during this time of year to select the branches that you want to continue growing, and then pushing back that silhouette. So that's kind of ideal. Looking at some of my older trees, that's something I didn't do at the beginning, and this is what I'm going to do to this tree, is to push back some of the branches that I think should be ramified. So trying to get that tighter, more branch-like structure, and a little bit more airy. Most of my other trees, I designed it to have a really heavy canopy. This one I want to actually a little more light, a little more see-through canopy than before, especially this triple trunk, seeing that triple trunk. And then looking at its root base, it's pretty solid again. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bury the trunk up to about here with more of my grow material, which is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and a little bit of oh, I even forgot, Kanuma, excuse me, a little more acidified material. So, and if we need to wire, we'll wire a little bit. So let me get the camera the direction, and then I'll talk about what I do, and then I'll do a quick time lapse to speed up the process. Alrighty, so I moved to the detail camera just to speed up the process a little bit. What I'm going to do first, as easy as I can, is to remove as much of the leaves I can. I'm not sure. Oh, this is December 30th, I think, 29th. I don't even know. Once you're on vacation mode, everything's kind of like, what day is it? It becomes Groundhog's Day, but I like to remove the leaves if I can get to it. And this one's growing in the back, like way against the wall. I rotated just a handful of times, and it got a little bit of powdery mildew at one point, and I treated it, and then it was fine. So if you're wondering how I pull, I just kind of grab it and I just kind of pull between my index finger and my thumb, and it's probably the easiest way of removing leaves if you want to do that. This is a great time if you need to if pest. It's a great time to spray your trees, just because everything is accessible. There's not much leaves in the way. Great time to look at what you call it, damage on your trunk. and how your trunk has healed over if you have some major cuts. And I have, oh, I got some major cuts right there. And it's a great time to look at your branch structure, especially if you're at that designing phase. You can go back and select the more refined branches. Like branches that are like too coarse, like this branch is getting really coarse, but it's my only branch I have in this area. So what I might do is a better branch is to move it to where I want it to grow. And hopefully there's, I can get a branch to spring out in that area. If not, it's gonna look kind of coarse. That would have been a better branch to survive. Well, then we got a little branch down here. So let's see what happens. And with Japanese maples, they keep extending. So you need to go back, and then you'll need to select some of the finer branches to grow back out, and then really redo this process indefinitely until you're done with the tree. So something to think about, Japanese maples. They do have this growing cycle, which you have to adhere to. Other than that, they're, I think, growing in part shade in Southern Cal and a lot of water, they're not bad. In-ground trees, they do pretty well. I do see a lot of Japanese maple in-ground here in Upland. And yard trees, they do pretty well as yard trees, but once you get in the container, they become pretty fickle, especially the sun-scorched ones. It's partly because they're pot grown, and they like cool feet. Well, that's what I've discovered. They like cool feet. They like their pots a little bit on the, like, not shallow, but the deep end, just to keep the root balls kind of cool. Especially our really hot summers, it kind of bakes the tree a little bit. So they like that coolness. Alrighty. We're getting there, everybody, we're getting there. Didn't want to make this a 30-minute video, but might happen. Well, we got a dead branch here, but it's surviving. Alrighty. Usually, when I'm building a tree out, I usually kind of leave it alone for about a year. Those are my trees I'm developing, but once I get to this stage where they're in between refinement stage and then they're still in that growing odd teenage age, I call it, this is where you need to put that extra time to work on your trees. And it's not much time. It's just, 30 minutes here and there to really and that time is well invested, I think. All right, I think I got most of it. I can get some of it as I go now. All right, now let me pull the camera back. You can see like how it kind of grew out this year. Not bad. It ramified a lot. I'm not sure, but let me pull the camera back a little bit. You gotta zoom out. There it is. Not bad, you know, surprisingly. Some branches are well placed. So we're gonna use some scissors. So some scissors, branch cutters. That's what I'm gonna use this one on. You can see some of the overall shape. We got some really long growth. Anything that's going up, down, okay, or inside, I'm gonna cut those off first. So without even thinking, hesitating, that's kind of what I'm gonna look at first. Except the only one that's going up is be the apex. So I'll work on this later. This will be another apex. And this is my apex up here. And those I'm gonna keep going up. And the other ones I'm just gonna shorten it. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then, yeah. And after that, I'll kind of push back looking at branch structure. When I get to that point, I'll decide what to do. But let me put this on slow-mo really quick, or slow-mo. Let me put it on time-lapse really quick so you can see what I do. The up, down, inside branches out first, or cut first. Well, what do you think, everybody? I reduced a lot of the branches to kind of the basic structure and kind of let a lot more padding, as you say. There's more layers. You can see there's a lot more layers than my typical like whole hedge of a tree. So this is kind of laid out slightly different. This one has a lot of character to it. I did remove this major branch in the front right here. You can see it's kind of coarse. Reason why I removed it was because it was an eye poker. I understand what an eye poker is. If it's, if you're viewing it and it's right at the viewer. So this is, no matter how I slice or dice it, it was right at the viewer. It blocked kind of the trunk line a little bit. My front's gonna be somewhere right here, so you can see, 1, 2, 3 apexes, and then you got some white branches. So I removed that one just because it was just kind of eye poking at that point. So I kind of removed that one. I kind of reduced some of the heavy branches on top and try to give a little more movement by directional pruning. I did wire this one back branch. If you notice, it was kind of growing into the tree, but now when I moved it, you can see now I have this branch right here in the back, so it has this depth of view. You can see that depth of view into the tree. What I'm going to do is I sealed all the cuts, made all the major cuts back on the tree. I'm going to let it grow again. I might springtime. I think I might put some more branch wiring on this tree, just to get some of these finer branches where I need them. And then what I'm going to do is let it grow, and then I reduce some of the branches. So hopefully some of the new branches will grow out, and I can start reducing some of these big old branches to finer and finer, and getting a little better and better taper as I go. So that's kind of the long-term goal. Root-wise, this guy looks pretty good. I'm gonna bury it up to about here with new soil and just let it grow. I can see some roots are already wrapping in circles there, little surface roots. I'm gonna let those kind of go in the direction I needed to go. And that's pretty much it. What do you think so far? It's not finished. This is probably another, I don't know, 10 years until I can even show it. But it gives me some time to look for a pot too. So probably a oval, cream color, green, glaze of some sort. That's kind of the goal line. But yeah, there you go. I'm sorry if you didn't notice there's some shade now. My wife came home and she says, "Let's go have lunch." I went, "Okay, can't say no to lunch." So sorry about the delay in time here. But if you're still watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for just continue supporting the channel. But if this was your tree, would you have done something different? Would you have kept that branch? Would you like shorten it? What are your ideas? Love to hear your ideas about this tree. And this will probably go right back my bench. Actually, I'll probably go in a different location. I did have a tree that died. I want an experimental tree that died. So it's gonna take over a new spot in my in the bonsai area, but still be in the bonsai area. But again, thank you for supporting, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.